Cash Color Cannabis, a high level of conversation on LivehiphopDaily.tv, sponsored by Georgia Hemp Company. And I have my first guest in the building. Hey, Tianna.
Hey.
How you doing?
I'm good. Thank you for having me.
No problem, no problem. I've become very familiar with you thanks to Instagram. and as you said, when you walked in, you felt like you met me. I feel like I met you too, because I see you like almost on a regular basis online. But this is my first time actually meeting you in person. Yeah. So thank you for coming by the show. I know we're speaking tonight about the major events you got going on next week. And then you got one in May that I actually might be sponsoring. So
yeah, so I'm working on that.
So right? let's get into that, man. But before we get into all those things, I want to get into who you are. So who is Tianna Smith?
So Tianna Smith is a warrior.
I believe you.
Warrior.
Yeah.
It's been a year on April 5th since I had my brain surgery. You know, we kind of touched on that a little bit earlier.
Yeah, the zipper thing. Had me all confused on Instagram. I'm like, zipper? What? And then there's a whole hashtag. I'm like, I don't know what any of this means. Just a bunch of people. Yes. I don't know. But yeah, I did my research and found out.
Yeah, so the zipper head, I think that's what you're referencing. It's a hashtag for brain surgery. So I have something called Chiari malformation.
Yeah.
And with Chiari malformation, basically your brain sits outside of your skull. And I know it sounds really...
I'm more thinking, how long have you known that? Like, or how long did doctors know that?
So I went like at least 27 years trying to figure out why I was having so many medical issues. And I went to a neurologist. They diagnosed me with it, but it was almost like, oh, you have allergies. You know, don't worry about it. You're born with it.
Oh, they great for giving you the simple excuse for something, answer for something. Yeah.
Exactly. So 3 years later, in 2018, actually, I found myself not being able to formulate my thoughts. I could barely walk. And I ended up having a mini stroke after a huge presentation in Vegas at my previous job. So I went to a neurosurgeon, and he told me that all the things that I was experiencing, yeah, they're in your head, but they're real, and you need to have brain surgery. So...
oh, man. Can I explain how mad I would have been at everybody who misdiagnosed that?
I was angry.
Yeah, that's like lawsuit material, isn't it?
Yeah.
Let me not get into it. I'm not gonna bring y'all on Judge Judy or nothing. No, but it's like lawsuit material.
Yeah, it was. But you know, honestly, it was a relief because for so long I had been fighting this thing, and no one would listen to me. So went ahead, had the brain surgery. I ended up having to stop working last year, September, full time, becoming disabled, and I decided to go ahead and pursue the cannabis industry. So here I am.
Here you are, man. So you are a survivor, especially to survive through and I can't even pronounce it, but yeah, like yeah, to survive that. What's it like, you know, being, I guess, post operation? Like, what's it like now? Like, do you still suffer through any issues at all, or do you sense anything?
I do. Okay. You know, surgery is not a cure for Chiari malformation. It's an intervention. It helps to like slow down the progression of your symptoms. So even now, I find myself, you know, sometimes you'll see, I find myself hard to like formulate my thoughts. I still have a tremor, but I'm here.
Yo, yeah.
I'm blessed.
To be completely honest with you, it could have been a lot worse.
It could.
Yeah. And the fact that wow, it's like I wonder how many other people suffer through that and don't really know. Is there a focus group? Is there a Facebook group?
There is, and I have a really huge support system. The people that I met over the past year, they're like family to me, and I realized that I'm not the only one going through this, and I'm blessed to know, even though I have my own symptoms and I'm going through it, there are people that are really worse off than I am. Yeah. So that's my platform. Yeah.
So now you're in cannabis, though. You know, we're thankful that you're alive and you're here, and now that you're in the cannabis space, what exactly prompted you to touch cannabis after everything when you were done?
Well, I was on at least 7 to 10 different medications.
That's like the start of almost every guest when I ask them, so why you got here? Let me tell you about all the medicines I was on.
Right. Well, to be honest with you, I was a cannabis advocate before then, but after seeing like how my health declined and, you know, like opiates when it comes to your liver and your kidneys, like they were in some serious having some serious issues. So I really decided to go with cannabis because that's the only thing that helps me.
Okay. So when you use, do you use actual plant or is it just straight CBD hemp products? Or?
No, I use CBD and THC as well.
Okay.
So hemp products, it's the only thing that really works. And you'll find that common within the Chiari community as well.
Oh man. So okay, so yeah, now I'm into this. so the community itself, how is the outreach coming as far as when cannabis? You know what I mean? Like if you know that this is something that is helping you mind, you know what I'm saying, way more than the medicine was.
Right.
This is also something that's been very much misdiagnosed, and there are crowds of people who know they have this and are trying to figure out a new way to medicate.
Right.
Are we seeing cannabis kind of like reach out, like, or cannabis, or people, cannabis activists, or people in the space try to reach out to the groups like yourself, or people like yourself?
Well, right now, you know, I have posed a question in many of our support groups, and other people have too, like, what are you using that can help with your symptoms when it comes to pain or just regular symptoms that you have with Chiari malformation? And what really triggered me to say, okay, let me get into, you know, the advocacy portion of it is because the responses that we would get would be cannabis. I use CBD, I use THC, and I mean all across the nation.
Yeah.
So, I mean, the proof is in the pudding.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. Okay. That's what's up, man. So, well, we're blessed to actually have you here, and now you're being an active force in Georgia on the cannabis side. Speak to us about the work you're doing currently with NORML West Georgia, and some of the stuff you're doing with Women Grow. Like, for one, how'd you get involved with both those groups, and what are some of the work you're doing out here in the state?
So I remember last year in January, I reached out to a few people about the cannabis industry. Before I found out I was going to have surgery, I wanted to go for Minorities for Medical Marijuana just to find out more about, you know, the industry and how it can help patients like me. I reached out to Hope So Dope, you know Hope, and Estro Hayes, and just let them know what I was really interested in, and they reached back out to me. And they said, I remember Hope said, the first thing that you want to do is start researching the laws in your state. The second thing that you should do is connect with a good organization called Women Grow. And at that time, I had no idea that it would come full circle for me. So after, you know, I took the time off from work and realized that this is what I'm going to be doing right now, I reached out to Ebony Knight. I said, hey, you know, I'm out here in Paulding County. There's nothing out here.
Oh, my bad. Not say ooh, like it's a great place, but ooh. Yeah, okay.
But, so as you know, Paulding County is out there. And, you know, we have Peachtree NORML out here. And I'm like, it's really hard for me to come all the way to Atlanta. With my surgery, I lost about 65% of my peripheral vision. So me driving at night is
thank you.
So I'm grateful for that man.
Yeah, I mean,
over there, my
look,
husband.
Atlanta's already a city full of bad drivers. Like, we don't. Yeah.
Hey, I'm from Jersey. I don't know about that, but I'd rather not risk it, you know, hit a dog or something in the street. So I told her, I was like, I feel like we need something out here. You know, it's not like they promote cannabis, obviously, in Paulding County, but having a conversation with different women, especially moms, and who are very pro cannabis and CBD, she said, let's go ahead and start it up, pick a date.
Yep.
And that's what I did. And from there, from grassroots, I became the executive director of West Georgia NORML Women's Alliance.
Awesome, man. That's awesome. So how's it been so far? You know, you now hold the crown out there.
The crown. It's been wonderful.
Yep.
You know, I have this this mantra, I guess you can say, is if you build it, they will come. And every month, they have grown every single month. So it's been phenomenal, just the support that we get. And I don't know, we've been doing a really good job. So right now we're really working on formulating the chapter as a chapter so we can be recognized nationally. And we're going to go from there.
That's what it is, man. Well, I'm very proud of you about that. Yeah, because I've been seeing the rumblings about West Georgia NORML. And the thing that jumped out to me was West Georgia NORML. That's crazy. West Georgia NORML. That's crazy. Well, I'm glad that you have started that up, and you do have an event coming up next week.
I do. So, Women Grow is coming to Atlanta.
Okay.
We actually had the very first pop up. I wasn't a part of. I went and volunteered, but we had a pop up here in January, and they are now.
Oh, Super Bowl weekend! I remember. I remember now. Yeah.
So we're doing another event here in April, and then hopefully May as well. Actually, May we are having one, May 23rd.
Okay.
But the event next Thursday is going to be really exciting. We have Marvina Thomas from the Phoenix. The Woman Go Phoenix, who is going to be here. She's the CEO of 420 Skincare and Edibles, like I told you earlier. And we're really excited. It's going to be at Cuisina. Have you ever been to Cuisina Christos?
I have not. Cuisina Christos, though. I saw you on Instagram with it. Is it a Greek restaurant?
It is, and it is phenomenal.
Okay. Baklava for everybody, man.
Yes. They're really excited to welcome us, you know.
That's what's up. So what are some of the things that I guess we can expect at the event, or what can we expect when we get there as far as education, the actual lineup? Because I was able to check it out myself. I do know that you're going to be speaking about ancillary ways to get into the industry.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
That is really our main focus. As you know, that April is Cannabis Awareness Month. So
Stop it. I didn't know that. Like, I thought that I legit thought that they was making this up. I was like, so we just making stuff up as we go along now? Like, we just wake up and now this is a day and this is a month? Yeah. No, okay, so it's Cannabis Awareness Month.
It's Cannabis Awareness Month. Okay. And honestly, you know, the reason why I really want this to be a very successful event, I mean, amongst other things, is I want to create that unified space for those who are either advocates of cannabis, even those who don't really know about the industry at all, who may be interested, or other businesses, just to come out and see what we're up to, you know, and open up the doors for other people who want to get into the industry.
I think that when we speak, especially when we speak about getting more people of color involved in the industry, absolutely, I think that we need to actually focus on ancillary ways, right, in this industry. Yeah. I mean, let's be for real. We've already watched ourselves be over criminalized for a plant that's going to be federally legal very soon. Rather than beat your head against a wall trying to figure out a way that you're going to make money off a plant that eventually everybody's going to be able to make money off of, figure out a way to be the shovels. Like, I keep hearing about the whole gold rush. People love using that metaphor of, well, you know, people make a lot of money with the shovels. Yeah, really. Like, be the shovel. You know what I'm saying? Like, at some point, be the shovel, man. Yep. So I agree with that. I think can somebody go downstairs and get E? I think I'm a true believer that we need to start really looking around for that, especially in Georgia. You know, like, Georgia's going to be slow motion when it comes to really opening up with the cannabis. But in the meantime, I'm in a city where I feel like we're some of the most creative go-getters ever. You know what I mean? Like, the cannabis scene in Atlanta, you would have thought we were legal. You know what I'm saying? The way from the parties, from the panels, from the stuff we do out here, you would have thought it was legal. And not only is it not legal, we turned it into a real ass industry. Yep. You know what I mean? And again, I think that what y'all doing is the correct route. You know what I mean? We really need to stress that more than anything. Absolutely. Yeah, there's so many, you know, opportunities out there without even touching the plant. Without even touching the plant. We just want to, you know, let them know. I mean, my husband and I have the company, the hemp house, and I mean, obviously we don't touch the plant, but we create different experiences for overlooks, or, you know, communities or conditions that people really don't pay attention to, like Chiari malformation. So yes. So with that, we have the iChiari project. We actually just started something called the Gentle Mantra Project. Okay, and what's the Gentle Mantra Project? The Gentle Mantra Project is an experience that my husband and I came up with. Actually, I'm going to be honest, I kind of came up with the idea because as a woman, right, I realized that there aren't a lot of things that I will understand about a man, you know, and I was tired of trying to figure it out. I'm quite sure a lot of women can attest to that. So what were you trying to figure out? Just the mind of a man. You know, we will never understand you all. Let me tell you, I'm struggling. I would love to meet the woman who understands the mind of a woman. You know, but here's the thing: we don't want to actually understand the mind of a man. That's what you all have. But I do believe that men and you guys need that space to be vulnerable and open up to each other, because the mental illness among especially the Black community is real. Yeah. So that's something that we're working on. Okay, and the organization you speak, well, the activation you're speaking of is to gather Black men together in order to have like a safe space to speak. Exactly. Okay. By using CBD and hemp as a way of treatment. Oh, okay, I'm with it. And when are we going to be doing that? Because I'll definitely host that. Oh goodness, we're looking probably in the summer. Yeah. Well, definitely keep me in the loop with that, because that's another thing that is dear to my heart. You know what I'm saying? Me being a black man, me watching my nephew grow up right now, and understanding that we're really in a different world right this second. And one thing that I want to watch, I want to see more brothers open up and be cool with going to therapists.
Right.
Like
exactly.
I had to go to a therapist myself last year, and I went for a short time, and I speak about it every day. Like I still go every single day, but it was definitely a help because it there was so much stuff I felt like, I mean, I sat down with her for about 20 minutes, and within 20 minutes I unpacked about 20 years of stuff. I felt like, you know what I mean? Like I was going through stuff that I forgot about, I thought.
Right.
So yeah, it's definitely a need, and CBD and THC definitely helps you open up a lot more.
Up and start talking about it. So.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I'll keep you in the loop.
Please do. Please do.
Great team working with us so far. So
yeah.
I'm
So,
excited.
but on the 18th, you do have the event coming up. So, is there still space for people to get involved as far as like if they wanted to actually come to the event and actually participate?
Okay. There is. I have some tickets for you too.
Oh, can we give one away? You see the Cosby face I made? Speaking of the Hillman shirt.
You might. They're in my purse, actually. Yes, I have some tickets for you.
Okay.
And you can do as you choose if you want to give them away.
Oh, I definitely will. You know what? I know some amazing. Well, wait a minute. Women grow. I can go to an event. Can I? Like,
Absolutely. It's for men and women.
Okay.
Think of it almost like a chamber of commerce for cannabis.
I believe. Okay.
You know?
I was always hesitant to do, because I know it's called Women's Grow, and I'm like, should I really dip in?
Right.
I'll grab it afterwards, or
Yep.
you want to? Yeah.
No, you're fine.
Should we really dip into that? But that's cool.
Absolutely.
So I could go. But we'll do a giveaway.
Absolutely.
Matter of fact, we'll do a giveaway on our page, and I'll gift somebody with oh, she wants one. Hey, Atlanta Academy of Cannabis said off rip. I want one. I want a ticket. So we're gonna do that when we get off air. We're gonna actually put together the parameters of a contest. And I'm gonna give somebody a ticket next week so y'all can go. It's in Marietta, correct?
It is. It's at Cuisina Cristos. Yep.
Heads up, it's in Marietta. Because people swear everything's in Atlanta. It's in Marietta.
It's in Marietta.
But if y'all are down to go to Marietta, it would be an amazing event for you to go to.
Almost like Smyrna area, so not pushing Marietta.
But and also let's speak about the event you have going on in May, because there's a chance I actually might participate in that one. What's going on in May?
Same. It's Women Grow is a monthly event. Mm-hmm. So for May, we will be at Spice House ATL off of Cascade.
I know what Spice House is.
Yep. So we actually have not come up with our the subject or the title yet, the topic, but you'll probably be one of the first people to know. I'm quite sure.
Well, thank you for keeping me in the loop. I really appreciate all that. I want to know one thing.
Sure.
When it's all said and done, especially with you now being an activist, with you being an activist for your illness, with you being an activist for cannabis, when you are, say, I don't want to say retired, but when you're done, you're just tired and you don't want to have to do this anymore. What do you want to be remembered for the most?
I want to be remembered for liberating minds, honestly, liberating minds and being that bridge to connect everyone, not just cannabis lovers, and changing that stigma, because there's such a stigma for no reason. Like there really is no reason for the stigma. So
no. And I feel like we're doing a good job trying to break that stigma. I think that media is going to do far more for breaking that stigma than any law will ever pass. And the more you see more of us on camera behind the mic, that's doing the power you need. That's giving people power. Right. We definitely need to see more of that. So I do appreciate what you're doing. I do appreciate the events you're bringing to the city, and everything that you're going on. I'm going to be giving away a ticket, but in case you missed the ticket, I'm going to give you. How can somebody get involved or get themselves a ticket to the event?
So you can go on Instagram. There's, I have like 3, right? So you can go to the Hemp House ATL. That will give you the link. You can go on that page. If everyone is listening, I can actually give you the link to go to. It's very simple. It's rebrand. So REBRAND. Right. .ly/Atlanta pop-up. And you can go ahead and get your tickets.
Massive. And I'm sorry, I did skip a question. Sure. I wanted to learn more about Hemp House ATL.
Okay.
What is Hemp House ATL? I know you spoke about you and your husband. Like, what is it?
So we are the Hemp House.
Okay.
The Hemp House ATL is actually like our website. Eventually, we will be branching out to different states. So the one here in Atlanta is the Hemp House ATL. I just found out that there's actually another one somewhere on Instagram, so not to be confused with the Hemp House. if there is confusion there. But we, like I told you, we create different experiences for those who have either rare conditions or overlooked conditions, you know, that they just don't feel comfortable either talking about, going to a doctor about, because no one is listening. And we take on those experiences and we make a project out of them and try to treat them with, you know, giving them that space of tranquility, catering to their mind, body, and their soul.
Yo, you're awesome. I'm really glad that you came on the show.
you.
Yeah, I appreciate what y'all
you.
are trying to do, and definitely shining a light. And I cannot pronounce your illness, but definitely shining a light on that. You know, like it's just, it's, you know, I'm sure it was hard going through and being misdiagnosed, and like you say, for 27 years.
It was tough.
Yeah, it was tough, but here you are, being a soldier, warrior, activist, and bringing more light to something that people really need to know about. And I appreciate that.
I appreciate you, Mecca.
All right, well, thank you for coming through. We're gonna kick it for a second.
Aw.
These guys are too much sometimes. But thank you for coming out and hang out with us. We got another guest coming on, and then we're going to do our thing.
All right.
All right, and that's Cash Color Cannabis, a high level of conversation sponsored by Georgia Hemp Company.
Thank you.